A very good morning. Thank you for tuning in to Wednesday's edition of Quick Morning. I'm Samiksha Srivastava. Let's get started. Prime Minister Modi is set to meet Chinese President Xi Jinping on the sidelines of the BRICS Summit. The meeting comes on the heels of a newly reached agreement regarding the contentious line of actual control in eastern Ladakh aimed at easing tensions between the two nations. Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri confirmed the bilateral meeting, highlighting its potential to strengthen ties. At a critical juncture, the discussions are particularly timely following Army Chief General Upendra Dwivedi's emphasis on restoring the status quo that existed in April 2020 prior to the prolonged military standoff as a result of the Galwan clash. Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha has directed heightened security measures for vital infrastructure projects in Jammu and Kashmir, emphasizing the safety of workers and officers as the government's top priority. His visit to Ganderbal district follows a deadly terror attack on Sunday that claimed lives of 7 individuals, including a doctor and 6 laborers, at a tunnel construction site. During a meeting with police and civil administration officials, Sinha even called for coordinated counter-terror operations to eradicate terrorism in the region and insisted on stricter access controls and regular patrolling around project sites to prevent future incidents. Tensions flared at Jamia Islamia as students organizing a Rangoli competition and lighting lamps for Diwali were confronted by a group of individuals who disrupted the festivities in an act of vandalism. The assailants even drove a car over the Rangoli designs created by the students, destroying the lamps in the process. Witness reported the situation escalated when the mob began to physically assault the students participating in the celebration. Provocative slogans, including several provocative slogans, were raised during the confrontation. The police have arrested 19 individuals, including 3 activists from AIMIM, for violating the Model Code of Conduct and prohibitory orders in the Budhana town. Among those detained were Azam, the AIMIM's Budhana city party president. The arrests follow protests that erupted over rumors regarding the release of a youth arrested for allegedly making an objectionable social media post about religion. Senior Superintendent of Police reported that more than 500 people have been booked for raising objectionable slogans, spraying rumors and pelting stones during the protest and unrest, which coincides with the upcoming by-elections in Mirapur Assembly constituency.
इसने कार्रवाई करते हुए कुल 19 लोगों को गिरफ्तार किया है। इसमें 5 लोग चिन्हित हुए हैं जिन्होंने इस पूरी चीज को प्लान किया था। इस पूरे प्रकरण में व्हाट्सएप और अन्य सोशल मीडिया प्लेटफॉर्म्स का इस्तेमाल हुआ था, जिसमें AIMIM का जो विधानसभा का ग्रुप है उसमें भी ऑडियो वायरल किए गए थे कि अल्लाह के शान में गुस्ताखी हुई है तो लोग इकट्ठा वहां पर हों और प्रशासन और पुलिस पर अनुचित दबाव बनाएं।
RSS Chief Mohan Bhagwat held a closed-door meeting with Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath for 2.5 hours, which marks the first discussion since the Lok Sabha elections. The meet is significant amid the upcoming by-elections for 9 seats in Uttar Pradesh that are focused on political strategies for both the by-elections and the 2027 Assembly elections. Sources even indicate that Mohan Bhagwat emphasized the importance of prioritizing development alongside the Hindutva agenda. The meeting comes after reports of dissatisfaction within the Sangh regarding the BJP's top leadership. Federal officials, including Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's National Security Advisor and Deputy Foreign Affairs Minister, reportedly leaked sensitive information about India to the Washington Post just before the RCMP connected Indian agents to violent crimes in Canada, including the murder of Sikh leader Sukhdev Singh Gill. Sources indicate that the ministers briefed the Washington Post, on India's interference operations shortly before Thanksgiving ahead of a planned RCMP news conference. This leak has raised eyebrows, particularly given Trudeau's previous condemnation of leaks concerning Chinese interference, which he labelled as criminal, despite claims from the minister's offices that no classified information was shared. Former CSIS executive officer argued that the intel surrounding Gill's murder would likely be considered disclassified until publicly disclosed. The Shiv Sena has announced its first list of 45 candidates for the Maharashtra Assembly election scheduled for 20th of November, with Chief Minister Eknath Shinde set to contest from Kopri Panchpakadi in Thane. Several cabinet members have also been re-nominated from their respective constituencies, which includes Gulab Rao Patil, Deepak Kesarkar, Abdul Sattar and Shambhu Raj Desai. The list also features family members of current MLAs such as Kiran Samant and Manisha Vaikar. This announcement makes Shiv Sena the second major party to release its candidates list, following the BJP's announcement of 99 candidates. Meanwhile, the ruling coalition Mahayuti, which includes the BJP, Shiv Sena and NCP, is still finalizing its seat-sharing arrangement for 288-member assembly. Ahead of the Maharashtra Assembly elections, the Mahavikas Aghadi Alliance has finalized its seat-sharing arrangement during a meeting at Matoshri on Tuesday. The coalition, comprising the Congress, Shiv Sena, UBT and NCP, SCP will be contesting on 105, 95 and 84 seats respectively. This agreement marks a significant step as the alliance prepares for a competitive electoral landscape, with an official announcement set for today in a joint press conference that will take place. As Odisha and West Bengal brace for severe cyclone storm expected to make landfall on 25th of October, both state governments have initiated evacuations and closed educational institutions in vulnerable areas. In Odisha, more than 1 million people are said to be relocated from 3,000 villages across 14 districts, while in West Bengal, schools will remain shut in 7 districts. The Indian Coast Guard is on high alert, with officials mobilizing rescue teams and even preparing local infrastructure to mitigate the storm's impact, which could bring wind speeds of 100 to 110 km per hour. At least 3 workers have been killed and 14 others are feared trapped after a 6-story under construction building collapsed in a busy area of Bengaluru on Tuesday. Around 3:45 p.m. amidst heavy rainfall, emergency services quickly arrived at the scene to launch search and rescue operations for the construction workers, all of whom were reportedly from Bihar and working on a 60x40 site. The structure fell In fact, while 4 individuals managed to escape, rescue teams are actively working to locate and assist those still trapped under the rubble, with officials continuing to assess the situation and provide updates. And for now, let's take a look at the business stories that we are tracking in Wednesday's edition of Quick Morning. Anil Ambani's flagship company, Reliance Infrastructure Limited, has announced plans to invest 10,000 crore over the next decade in establishing India's largest integrated defence manufacturing facility. The project, that is set to be developed in Ratnagiri, Maharashtra, will focus on producing a wide range of defence equipment, which includes small and large caliber ammunition, explosives and even terminally guided munitions. Additionally, the facility will manufacture small arms for both civil and military markets, catering to export demand. The company has secured 1,000 acres of land in Vatad industrial area in Ratnagiri to create the Dhirubhai Ambani Defence City, which Reliance Infra claims to be the largest greenfield defence project in India by any private sector entity. The International Monetary Fund has confirmed its growth forecast for India, projecting a GDP growth of 7% for this financial year and 6.5% for FY25. This assessment highlights the pent-up demand accumulated during the pandemic that has largely been exhausted as the economy reconnects with its potential. According to IMF's World Economic Outlook report, the economy has stabilized following the post-pandemic surge. The report even notes significant sectoral and regional shifts driving the stable global outlook, particularly the transition from goods to services consumption. Emergency markets like India and China are gaining ground in manufacturing production, which is boosting activity in services sector while dampening manufacturing output in advanced economies. Out of 10,644 complaints received, from the Central Consumer Protection Authority, Ola Electric Mobility has resolved 99.1% of the complaints, according to the regulatory filing by the company. The company has also provided information and clarifications in response to the show cause notice to the Central Consumer Protection Authority. In fact, note, the CCPA on 7th of October this year had issued a notice to the company for alleged violation of consumer rights, which misled advertisements and unfair trade and led to unfair trade practices. IMF director has announced on Tuesday that the global risk of recession is diminishing as inflation moves closer to central bank targets. Speaking in Washington, D.C. during the launch of Global Financial Stability Report, Adrian noted that many countries are shifting their focus from solely managing inflation to also considering real economic activity, highlighting positive surprises in earnings within financial markets as evidence of this shift. While the outlook is largely supportive of soft landing, he cautioned the unforeseen shocks could still disrupt growth and stability. Adrian further emphasized the importance of maintaining a stable macroeconomic framework and early engagement with creditors for countries facing debt issues. The government of Andhra Pradesh has entered into a strategic pact with Meta Platforms to boost public service delivery through advanced digital solutions. In fact, according to a release, the partnership will focus on enabling efficient, citizen-centric public services through WhatsApp, allowing seamless communication between government and its citizens. The collaboration is aimed at bringing governance to the fingertips of citizens by leveraging Meta's WhatsApp business solution and open-source generative AI technologies like Llama. In fact, this is in continuation with the earlier projects. It's Nara Lokesh, Minister of IT, Electronics and Communication, Real-Time Governance, who's claimed that the partnership aligns with the state government's vision of making governance easier and improving the quality of life for all citizens. Zomato, the country's leading food delivery giant, on Tuesday reported net profit of 176 crore rupees in the second quarter of current financial year, which marks an increase of nearly 5 times or 389% from 36 crore rupees during the same period last year. On a sequential basis, its net profit, however, fell 30% from 253 crore earlier. The company's board has now approved raising up to 8,500 crore rupees by the issue of shares in a qualified institutional placement. Now, Zomato has also been looking to increase its store count to 2,000 by the end of 2026. Well, all eyes today will be on that bilateral between Prime Minister Modi and President Xi Jinping. Let's take a look at the other global stories that we're tracking. China's foreign ministry has confirmed that China and India have reached resolutions regarding their border issues. This development follows an agreement on military patrols along the disputed Himalayan border after a standoff which began with a deadly clash in June 2020, as reported by the Indian Foreign Ministry. A spokesperson of China the Foreign Ministry stated that two nations have maintained close communication by diplomatic and military channels concerning these matters. Indian Foreign Secretary also observed the pact aims to facilitate the disengagement of troops at the line of actual control, although it remains unclear if this will involve the withdrawal of tens of thousands of additional troops stationed by both countries in the northern Ladakh region since July of 2020.
Indian and Chinese diplomatic and military negotiators have been in close contact with each other in a variety of forums. And as a result of these discussions, agreement has been arrived at on patrolling arrangements along the line of actual control in the India-China border areas, leading to disengagement and a resolution of the issues that had arisen in these areas in 2020. And we will be taking the next steps on this.
During the BRICS Summit in Kazan, Russian President Vladimir Putin and Chinese President Xi Jinping engaged in pivotal talks aimed at reinforcing their no-limit partnership, a relationship that has gained significance since its establishment weeks before Russia's invasion of Ukraine in 2022. Xi referred to Putin as his dear old friend, highlighting their third meeting this year, asserting that BRICS serves as a crucial platform for solidarity among emerging economies. The summit also marks the expansion of the bloc to include countries like Iran, Egypt, Turkey and Malaysia expressing interest in joining. Observers even noted that the event reflects Kremlin's strategy to strengthen ties with the global south amid tensions with the west. Kenya's impeached deputy president has launched an appeal with the High Court against his impeachment on Tuesday after Kenya's president nominated the country's interior minister as his new deputy. He was overwhelmingly voted out as deputy president in an impeachment motion in parliament over allegations of corruption and inciting ethnic division. President William Ruto on Friday named Kithore as the in the National Assembly after the latter was impeached in absentia. Gyangjua was in hospital at the time of impeachment proceedings due to his chest pains. The High Court later issued an order stopping Gyanjua's replacement until next Thursday, when cases filed against the impeachment would be heard.
A challenge has been posed on the validity of this bench to sit. This is the direction we are making. The application challenging the validity of this court to sit must be filed within 1 hour and responded to within 1 hour. We will come at 2 to listen to that application.
German Chancellor welcomed Finnish President to Berlin on Tuesday, where they discussed the ongoing conflict in West Asia and Ukraine. During a joint press conference, the German Chancellor expressed the death of Hamas leader. Speaking on the death of the Hamas leader, said that it brought renewed hope for a ceasefire in the Gaza region and the release of Israeli hostages, emphasizing the need for Hezbollah to withdraw from Israel-Lebanon border area in accordance with the UN Resolution 1701, emphasizing on the need of a two-state solution, further adding that a window of opportunity to address both conflicts may arise soon after the upcoming US elections, ahead of the upcoming US elections, adding that Germany's pivotal role remains as a leader in Europe.
Minds whether to bring these two conflicts together, but the only thing that is sure is that we have to solve them one way or another, and I think the window of opportunity will start opening up after the US elections, going towards the inauguration of the next president of the United States. And of course, Germany's role in all of this as a leader in Europe is instrumental.
Law officers have arrested a teenager in connection with the deaths of 5 people found dead inside a home southeast of Seattle. Authorities say that several 911 callers reported a shooting around 5 a.m. In Fall City, Washington. The King County Sheriff's Office said that deputies arrived at the home and immediately took a teenager into custody. A sheriff spokesperson said that the deputies found the bodies of 5 people and that the shooting appeared to involve members of a family. The official said another teen was found injured in a Seattle hospital.
They discovered sort of a chaotic scene, but what they did when they entered the property is they immediately took one teenage male, into custody.
2 transgender women were killed at their house in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province by 2 armed men with daggers, highlighting the rising violence against the transgender community in Pakistan. Local police chief reported that the incident occurred on Sunday night, but the motive remains unclear as investigation continues. The victims have since been buried in a local graveyard. Authorities have arrested 2 suspects in connection with the killings. Although Khan declined to provide further details or confirm their involvement, transgender individuals in Pakistan frequently face harassment, abuse and violence despite the 2018 Transgender Persons Protection of Right Act aimed at safeguarding their rights. A posthumous memoir of Russian dissident Alexei Navalny, titled Patriot, a memoir, was published worldwide on Tuesday, offering a blend of humor and poignant reflections on his life, including time in prison and his foreboding prediction of dying there. Navalny, a leading opponent of Russian President Vladimir Putin, began writing the memoir following his near-fatal poisoning in 2020. The book details his youth, activism, personal life and struggle against Putin's increasingly authoritarian regime. He worked on the manuscript and diaries until his death at the age of 47, 8 months ago. Foreign Secretary of India said that Prime Minister Modi and Iranian President held a meeting on the sidelines of the BRICS Summit in Kazan on Tuesday and discussed the situation in West Asia. Prime Minister Modi even expressed his deep concern over the escalating conflict and reiterated India's call for the protection of civilians and prevention of harm to civilians, stating that Prime Minister Modi and Iranian President discussed Afghanistan and underscored the importance of maintaining peace and stability in the region. Furthermore, the discussion between the 2 leaders focused on key areas of cooperation, especially the Chabahar Port International North-South Transport Corridor as well. Tragedy struck Cuba as Hurricane Oscar, which made landfall as Category 1 hurricane, has left at least 7 people dead following its path across the eastern part of the island. The storm unleashed heavy rain, with some areas receiving more than 15 inches, prompting mass evacuations in regions like Santiago in Cuba. President initially confirmed 6 fatalities, with the toll now rising. The recovery efforts also on. Amid the ongoing flooding and damaged infrastructure, the government has mobilized emergency services to aid those affected as Cuba grapples with the aftermath of the storm while still recovering from a massive blackout. An alarming outbreak of E. coli food poisoning has been linked to McDonald's Quarter Pounder hamburgers, affecting at least 49 individuals across 10 states, including a fatality in Colorado. Health officials reported that among the sick, 10 have been hospitalized, with some experiencing severe complications. And time to head in a very short break. When we come back, we'll get you all the action that we're tracking from the world of sports and entertainment. Welcome back. You're watching Quick Morning. I'm Samiksha Srivastava. Let's now take a look at all that we're tracking from the world of sports. Former Australian opener David Warner has revealed that he's ready to reverse his retirement from Test cricket if Australia call on him to fill a vacancy at the top of the batting order for the upcoming series against India. India is expected to have a nearly full-strength squad for the second Test against New Zealand in Pune, with assistant coach confirming that Rishabh Pant and Shubham Gill are fit and will be available for selection. England has opted to field a spin-heavy attack for the third Test against Pakistan in Rawalpindi, recalling 19-year-old Rehan Ahmed alongside Jack Leach and Shoaib Bashir. Former England captain fields Joe Root has the potential to surpass the legendary Sachin Tendulkar as a leading run-getter in Test cricket, thanks to his insatiable hunger and incredible talent. Estal FC is getting ready to meet Al Nassr in AFC Champions League elite game at the Al Rashid Stadium in Dubai. Both clubs belong to Group B. Al Nassr now holds 4th place, while Estal FC has 5th place in the match. Former Indian wicketkeeper batter Parthiv Patel is said to join Gujarat Titans in IPL 2025 as batting mentor. He's set to join the support staff of the Titans, which is led by Ashish Nehra. He's also set to replace Gary Kirsten, who was the batting mentor and the head coach. Nigerian veteran Quadri Aruna defeated Australia's Nicholas Lum in 4 games on Tuesday to reach the second round of WTT Championship. Next up for Aruna would be the winner between 6th seed Lin Guiyuan of China and Germany's Benedikt Duda. In the women's singles, 7th seed Miao Hironi of Japan thrashed Romania's opponent in the game. In other sports stories, Jack Draper marked his comeback from injury with a victory over Kei Nishii as Dominic Thiam's tennis career came to an end on home soil at Erste Bank Open. Draper, who retired during his quarter-final against Hugo Humbert at the ATP Tour event in Tokyo last month due to an abdominal injury, then withdrew from the Shanghai Masters 1-7-6-7-5. The British number 1 was forced to dig deep in a contest that lasted 1 hour and 37 minutes. And time to take a look at all that we are tracking from the world of glitz and glamour. Let's get started. Glenn Close will be the next recipient of AARP, the magazine's Movie for Grown-Up Awards Career Achievement Honor. The 77-year-old actor is known for films like Fatal Attraction, 101 Dalmatians and The Wife, with a career that spans nearly 50 years. She will receive the honor in January next year. Reacting to this, she expressed excitement and was deeply honored to be given this award, further stating she further stressed on how the role in Fatal Attraction completely changed her life.
role that really kind of changed my career was Fatal Attraction. Up to then, I had played kind of motherly roles. And I think everybody was saying, can Glenn Close be sexy? Which made me laugh because the parts that I'd been asked to play weren't necessarily sexy parts. But Fatal Attraction, it was an incredible role. It was an incredible learning experience.
Squid Game actor Lee Jung-jae and Nia Jean Singer were among the celebrities who gathered at the Gucci Cultural Month event in Seoul on Tuesday. The main event was a photo exhibition that was titled Dual Narratives, honoring the visionaries. Part of the Gucci Cultural Month project, the luxury brand stated that through this initiative, it aims to foster a deep connection with the Korean culture. Tom Hardy has walked the red carpet for the world premiere of Venom: The Last Dance in New York City. Known for his iconic roles as Bane in The Dark Knight Rises and for portraying the Cray twins in Legend, Hardy said that his approach to playing Venom was consistent with the method he used for more challenging characters. John Anderson, James Burton and the late Toby Keith were formally inducted into the County Music Hall of Fame Sunday. A medallion ceremony in Nashville 10 featured performances by the music by stars including Blake Shelton and Elvis and Keith Richards as well. Parineeti Chopra, the Bollywood actor, celebrated her 35th birthday on Tuesday. On the occasion of a special day, the actor was wished by a family, friends and film fraternity. Parineeti's cousin Priyanka Chopra Jonas, who's currently busy with Citizen, took to social story section of her Instagram and shared a picture of her sister and wished her good wishes. Earlier, it was speculated that things were not going well between the cousins when Priyanka decided to miss Parineeti's wedding with politician Raghav Chadha in Udaipur last year. And with that, it's a wrap on this edition of our broadcast. Stay tuned for all the breaking news after this very short break.